Hey guys, Nick here again. I know you'll probably keep seeing The Way Ministries up under my name. That's just me. That's the title of my ministry, I guess. People have the church names and ministry names. I'm trying to go with The Way Ministries, or eventually when I actually have a building, Church of the Way, because that's what the disciples were referred to as, followers of the Way. I want to bring it back to its roots, back to the Bible, the truth. Anyways, so we figured out what the Pharisees think of Jesus, figured out what the people think of Jesus. Now we're going to be in Isaiah, the whole chapter of 53. It's only 12 verses, don't worry. We're going to find out what the prophets said about Jesus. This chapter in my Bible is titled The Vicarious Sacrifice of Christ. Starting in verse 1, bear with me. Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. So that's basically saying he's not going to stand out in some beautiful, immaculate way that people will notice him and, just by looking at him, know that he is the Son of God. So he's not going to cause us to be prideful of him. As far as his appearance goes, not in this earthly appearance. Is this not focusing on my face right now? There we go. Okay, starting back in verse 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. So that's basically saying he's going to take all of your transgressions, he's going to take all of your sorrows, all of your burdens, all of your sufferings, your pain, your depression, your anxiety, all of it. He's going to take it all on his shoulders. So you don't have to. Verse 6, all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one of sorry, this COVID is awful. Turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he is cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. So for everybody's people, for everybody's transgressions, he was stricken. Not for his own, but for everybody else's. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he hath done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. He lived a full sinless life. Didn't trick anybody, didn't lie to anybody. It didn't harm anybody in a evil intention way. Verse 10, yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his land. So it pleased God to put him up at the same time as grieving him, because it was only a begotten son. He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. So Jesus bears everybody's iniquities. Mine, yours, your mama's. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. He made intercession for the transgressors. Pay attention to that. He made the way for all sinners of the world, which is every single human being that is on this planet. He made the way. He paved the path for you to follow to get to heaven. So you don't have to work for it. There's no work for salvation. You can't work for that. There's nothing on ever. You could never work enough to earn that. You don't deserve it, but he gave it to you anyways because that's what he does. That's what he did. Excuse me. So you're not good enough, but you are good enough. You're a sinner, but he doesn't care. If you ask for his forgiveness and accept him into his heart, every chance is a second chance because he forgot the last one. Never forget that. So that's what in Isaiah it says about Jesus. And that's who he is. God gave Isaiah that idea of Christ. So therefore it is obviously correct, as you probably know from the New Testament when it talks about Jesus' life. Yeah. So that's who he is. He's someone that takes all your iniquities, all of your sins, all your transgressions, all of your anxieties, all of your depression, all of your worries. Takes it all away for you so that you can live and make it a heaven. He died for that reason, and that reason alone. So there you go. That's Jesus. God bless you.